so easy.
Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. As you can see, I'm in the house today, not fishing, but today's video is just going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to be talking through the flies I like to use at this time of year. It's very tough, getting very warm outside, up to 30 degrees. Trout don't like it, but using some nice natural patterns, and I'll go through how I go about fishing these. And yeah, there'll be a few videos of me fishing and using these flies, and hopefully give you some hints and tips which will help you catch those few fish at this time of year. And at the end, I'll give you details on how you can actually win a box of these flies that I go through. Cheers guys.
Open up your eyes and see there's more to our story.
So here I am recently out fishing and doing what I love to do best in summer, and that's using small nymphs. So when looking at doing my top 10 summer flies, quite difficult, and every time I looked at it I was like, oh, how did I not include this or that? But what it is a range of flies that I find will catch you many fish in summer and that I actually enjoy fishing with. So it's not a necessarily defined top 10 list, but these are the top 10 flies I enjoy fishing with and that catch a lot of fish. Before I go on to the flies, I'll just look at very quickly some good tips for specifically small still waters at this time of year. Obviously tactics are different on bigger waters, but I'll just give a few quick sort of hints and tips on fishing a small water in particular in the summer. I will do a more detailed video in the future on nymphing, but for now just a few quick hints and tips. So first tip would be your flies. The colour and size are very important. When you're fishing a small still water, you want to go down to 12s, 14 and 16 straight away and think about more natural patterns. Get rid of the bling off your flies. You'll find that on a small still water where fish are caught and released a lot, any added bling will actually put them off. So my top tip there is simplify your flies and reduce the size of them. Definitely makes a difference compared to fishing a big water. Second tip is leader is all important when you're in this environment. So I'll use 8 pound fluorocarbon. That's quite cheap when I'm fishing a big water, but in the summer when you're on a small still water, you want to invest that little bit extra money in your leader. So what I've started using recently is Seagar Soft Plus, and it's unbelievable the diameter that you get for the strength. It's not cheap, it's quite expensive, but particularly when you're fishing nymphs in summer, it really is worth spending that little bit extra money on a leader that's going to help you catch more fish. Tip number 3 is on the methods. Now, I've previously covered the washing line in a different video, so I'll focus more on straight line nymphing. I do intend to do a video specifically about that in detail. But really what I want to just cover now is how I go about straight line nymphing. So if you're using a floating line, I'll tend to increase the gap to 6 and 6.5. Just keeps those flies a little bit extra distance apart, which helps with spooky fish. You can go into a midge tip line if the fish are sitting a little bit deeper, so I tend to use 6 foot midge tip, my Rio line, quite a lot when I'm straight line nymphing. It just gets you that little bit deeper. And I've also started using a 12 foot sink tip, which is great against a dam wall. Just gets you right deep and great fishing that on the hang. Next quick tip is to slow everything down. Now, when you're straight line nymphing, you want to barely be retrieving. So I will mix it up a bit and give a few small jerks and stuff, but it tends to be extremely slow figure of 8, almost just keeping in touch with your flies and then adding a little bit of movement. And my last tip for now is how to cope with savage takes. So really it's about investing in a good fluorocarbon, which gives you that extra strength for the diameter you're looking for. But also not using your 7 weight, use a lighter rod, and that way when you're striking there's less chance of you breaking off. I find a lot of people when nymphing, they reduce down the size of their leader and tend to get snapped off quite a lot. So fishing with lighter equipment and investing that extra money in the fluorocarbon make all the difference and make you more confident. People do lose faith because they get snapped off and think I need to up my fluorocarbon, but then you'll find the takes will dry up. So It's all about getting that balance right, and you don't want to be getting snapped off. So that would be my quick tips to help, and as I say, I will cover that in more detail in a future video. I just wanted to give some high level quick tips before going on to look at the top 10 flies. So as I say, this was difficult, and at number 10 is the Midas. I only recently started fishing this, but it's proved absolutely deadly, fish dry. And what I like about it is you can then just dunk it under the water and fish it back wet, and it really does perform fish like that too. So had to be in my top 10 after recently starting to fish this, and especially in this colour, the fiery brown size 12, it just seems to have been really successful for me. So number 10, the Midas. On to number 9, and it's the pheasant tail nymph. Absolute classic pattern, and really enjoying fishing with these. They catch me many fish. Different varieties, obviously, so you can see there a natural and a gold head. A little bit of weight for on the points with the gold head, and size 14s I find are perfect size for me. I like to tie these in a variety of colours, but the brown really does seem to perform well, the natural colour. On to number 8, and I had to be in the top 10, hare's ear pattern. Now this come in obviously different types of flies, but hare's ear in general is absolutely deadly. Real natural look to it, as you can see there. Beaded Bug size 12, got a white bead on it, and another gold head, great for on the point if you're straight line nymphing. And different variations in colour again. You can have olives, browns, all sorts, but nice little variety there, and will catch you many fish. This was me at Menteith recently, and had hare's ear on the top dropper, and that's what got me this fish. Just wasn't the biggest fish, nice little jump there. And again, these patterns for when fish are being pressured are absolutely deadly and really do fool the fish.
Might be wrong.
Number 7, I couldn't leave it out. Booby. In the summer, absolutely deadly. You've got your classic marabou with Fritz boobies, and they add great movement under the water, and depending how you fish them, you can fish them in a variety of ways, and they'll prove deadly in summer, especially when you want to get down deep. Also, the floating bloodworms was worth a mention, just another nice variation. It's good to fish these on a deep sinking line, let the line sink to the bottom. I tend to go with about a 4-foot leader, and just let them sit that little bit off the floor, and fish just find them irresistible. Slow figure 8 back, and yeah, when it's really hot and that booby's just popped up there and you start slow figure 8, fish can't help themselves but take it, and it's a great tactic for the summer when it gets roasting hot and the fish are sitting deep. Slowly retrieving these along the bottom, you'll always bag you a few fish. Number 6, the good old Snatcher. Now, I love having a Snatcher on the top dropper. Catches me many fish. I really enjoy fishing with these patterns. Little selection there of Snatchers, various colours. I tend to prefer the darker colours for Snatchers. Browns, blacks, that kind of thing. Just great at imitating that small fly near the surface of the water. I actually like to fish a Damsel on the point, and sometimes only one dropper with a Snatcher on it, and it's exactly what I was doing in this scenario, and this was again at Menteith. There was actually fish chasing little fry in amongst the edge there and casting in there, and I had the Damsel on the point thinking that might be what the fish take, and Snatcher on the top dropper, and yeah, got a take. Expected it to be the Damsel, but it was that little Snatcher on the dropper that tempted the fish, and great little combo that. Damsel on the point, Snatcher on the dropper. I really recommend you try that, especially when fishing in at the margins like we are here. Definitely, between the Damsel and the Snatcher, you'll bag many fish.
There's one. Right. There's definitely fish in here chasing these small fry. It's not a big fish, but I'll take it.
That's a decent fish. That's not a bad fish.
Feel the beans. That's it. There we go. Caught on a wee black snatcher.
And at number 5 has to be in there, Dael Bach. Great little nymph pattern, and again you get many different variations, even in Hares here. Include a couple here that are nice darker, so you've got the jungle cock there black and a nice red holographic with some orange biots. Deadly little flies these, like to go all the way down to size 16s and catch me many fish. Number 4, I've kind of cheated a bit here, but I've put in buzzers, emerging buzzers, any type of buzzer, dry flies, probably your top priority flies in your box. Ranging from using clink hangers to imitate emerging, CDC emergers, all in different colours and sizes. Definitely have a good variety of these in your box. The foam emerger there is also good to have on the point of a washing line when things are tricky. And the shipmans wouldn't be without it. Number 3, Damsel. I catch so many fish on a Damsel if you've seen in my previous videos, and had to be in the top 3. Different varieties you get of these, and I tend to like to use weighted varieties because I tend to fish these in the margins. So you've got ones with tungsten beads or just brass beads, and yeah, will catch you fish all year round. Cracking little flies. And at number 2 is the hopper. Love fishing hoppers, and they're so versatile. I fish them on the washing line, straight line nymphing, and I even like to gink them up and fish them dry. Really enjoy fishing these patterns and bag you so many fish. I have many different variety colours, so some with brighter tinsels on it, or some with really natural colours, even Hares, ear bodies. Wouldn't be without them. And number 1, it couldn't not be the cruncher. This for me is the fly that catches me the most fish. Love fishing the pattern, washing line, straight line nymphing, all different varieties, and yeah, it just works. You can see there, black and olives, probably my most 2 common patterns in size 10 and 12s, and yeah, I'm always confident when I've got these on the line, and especially in summer, they can really be deadly. So this was a clip of me there, I think it was a little black cruncher, size 14. This fish fell to, and yeah, in the summer I'll always be fishing crunchers, and they're probably the fly that catches me the most fish. So that was my top 10, kind of. I'm already thinking, how did I not have a cormorant in there? But yeah, it's 10 flies that would catch you many fish during the summer. And as a thank you to everyone who's subscribing to my channel, what I've done is put together a box of all these patterns in various sizes, and you can win the box. To be in with a chance of winning these, all you need to do is make sure you've subscribed to the channel and drop a comment on this video. What to do is just drop the comment and give me what you think catches you the most fish at this time of year. Be interesting to see other people's views, and there'll definitely be some suggestions where I'll think, how on earth did that not get in my top 10? So if you can just drop me a comment, subscribe to the channel, and what I'll do is I'll randomly draw out a hat, the winner, and I'll announce that in my next video. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers guys.